How to start a business, a Pokemon business, and operate it effectively. Welcome back as we continue this journey to entrepreneurship. If you missed part 1, I recommend going back and watching that first before watching this. Thank you for taking the time to go through this process, and I hope you find this information valuable in starting your own business. Now please take the time to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, so that you can follow along with us and grow. It really helps in reaching as many people as possible so I can share as much value with others as possible. Last time we talked about how important it was to do your research and digging deep to make sure you know your business and your market. Now we will move into the business setup. I have to discuss some of this in more general terms than specifics because of the differences in state and local regulations, but the broader outlook and the setup will be the same overall. If you need specific guidance based on your state, I recommend looking at your state's Secretary of State website or tax department website. And you can also just search business license in whatever the state that is that you live in. That will get you started in the right direction and registering your business. Some states have a one-stop shop type setup where you register your business, and that also gives you the tax resale license along with it. In some states, they're done separately. You can register a business as a few different entity types, and if you have questions about which one will work best for what you want to do with your business, it may be best to consult a financial advisor. For starting a small single-person business with no employees, either a sole proprietorship or an LLC may work for you. A sole proprietorship is where you are the only person involved in the business and requires no further legal filings to start the business. You simply have to report your business income on your personal income tax filing. You're personally liable for any and all income reporting as well as debt incursion. An LLC, limited liability company, can still be set up with just yourself as the sole employee. It takes away some of the personal liability in some cases by shielding personal assets in the event of a bankruptcy filed by the LLC. Be very careful in thinking that you have no risk in building up debt, buying a bunch of inventory, and if you can't pay your bills, you can just fold it up without hurting yourself. In retail, working with distributors, you nearly always will end up signing a personal guarantee in order to open your account. This means if any debt is not paid, you will still be held personally liable, no matter how your business is set up. So now that you have your business legally registered in your state in the form that you need, let's get it up and running. You will need some startup money, of course. This amount is dependent on your model and you decided on in your research phase and how fast you are wanting to grow. Obviously, the more money that you have to start, the faster you can scale. But you could start with as little as $100. Something to think about here, the scale speed affects when you can start paying yourself a salary. I started with a very small amount, and it took me a couple of years before I started paying myself anything at all. Leading up to that, every single penny of profit was put right back into the business to buy more and scale higher. This gets into the inventory and something called turns. Some inventory items move faster than others, and how fast it turns over is important also. When first starting, you want to stay in a very narrow range of products that will have high turns to maximize margin growth and buy more products faster. We will get more detailed on inventory, costs, and margin in a later part. Finding a distributor to get products wholesale is your next step. Let's take Pokemon cards as an example for finding a distributor. This is very simple to find. If you go to Pokemon.com and you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, you will click on the customer service button at the bottom. Next, click on Pokemon Trading Card Game button. Now, right in the Hot Topics section is an FAQ for who are your wholesale distributors. This will open up a list of every single distributor in the world for Pokemon cards. In the US, they are listed by city and state warehouse locations, and you can see that some of the larger distributors have multiple locations across the country. The warehouse locations should be considered based on your own business location to reduce shipping times for making release dates as well as any incurred shipping charges. It may also be helpful if the distributors that match up well with you geographically also have other locations. So when your primary warehouse is out, it's possible to pull from another location on restock items. When starting out, you will most likely want to only start with one distributor to build not only a purchase history, but a relationship with your sales rep. Nearly all hobby items will be based on an allocation system, so purchase history is important in being able to get more volume of product with each new release. Most distributors will use some sort of a combination of total purchases over a trailing 6-month period and sales within a particular product line over the same period as to how much of your order you will get if it becomes allocated. Once you have selected which distributor works for you, visit their website, look for the Open Account section to start an application. In the current time, with extremely high volume of applications that are going in with distributors, some have closed to new accounts unless it's a brick and mortar store, and others have started a pre-screening survey to limit the applications as well. If a sales history with your newly formed business becomes necessary, there's a way to adapt to that as well. You can open an eBay storefront subscription for as little as $5 a month, and you can build your business by using your startup money or any existing personal inventory to buy and sell through there and build that history up. I had an eBay store only with no personal website for a few years before starting my own, even after I had relationships with multiple distributors. Now that you have your business registered and up and running with a source for your products, the next step we will talk about is just some examples of items and ways to build your capital quickly and some long-term things to look at for margin growth. Please take the time now, if you haven't already, to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to watch part 3. Thanks so much for watching.